In the interview with Katie Hedrick, we talked about a thing called money mindset that controls most of our decisions about money with our personal finances and with our business. And if we're not aware of thoughts that go through our minds and the beliefs that are managing our behaviors and our decisions, and we find ourselves making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So it's very, very important to understand this mechanism and know how to control it. And Katie, in this great interview, she shared the mindset that we can understand what's going on in our mind. We can understand ourselves. We can understand the behaviors, the habits, the mechanism, the root causes. And she shared some tools on what we can do tomorrow morning and every day in order to gain that control over the money decisions and make better decisions with our money. Let's go right ahead. I'm going to go over a list of mindset and a list of tools. Sounds good? All right, let's go to it. If you haven't watched the full episode and you want to do it now, I think it's going to be a good idea. Press right here and go watch that video. All right, so the key point is that the notion that we control our money decisions is a myth. Did you know that? It's a myth. And Katie explains that there are two things that's happening in our mind all the time without us noticing, like we don't notice our breathing or our digesting or whatever, which are value tagging and selective focus. What our subconscious mind picks up as important to us and prioritize from our thoughts. Selective focus is why is it important to us? And of course that means how do we feel about that decision? The more intensely we have a feeling attached to that thought, then our mind will say, okay, I will prioritize that intense feeling with what's important. This is why Katie explains it's very, very crucial to have a clear life vision, a clear vision for our business, for our goals, because we are giving our subconscious a target where we want to go, and we're attaching feelings, strong feelings of, wow, we want to get there, we'll feel amazing when we get there. So our subconscious realizes that's a priority for this guy. I'm going to remember that that's how he feels, and I'm going to attract information and resources that align with that target, with those feelings, and I will let him access those. Does that make sense to you? It does to me, and if not, please comment on this video. I will elaborate on it more. All right, second point is not to try to make more money just to feel financially secure. That notion itself, that thought itself, can actually prevent us from seeing opportunities or taking the right amount of risk or being free and open to opportunities along the way that will make us make better decisions about our money. So there's no amount of money that is going to make us feel safe. The next point is to shift our mindset from lack to abundance, which means focusing on what I want. There's a sentence that I learned from a guy named David Bayer. If you don't know him, I strongly recommend you to go check him out. That the mind is a goal-achieving machine. Whatever you think about, that's where he'll be focused on, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. Ideas start to come up. When I see someone, I have more courage to approach him and talk to him about it. I move forward and not just dwell on what I don't want, doing initiatives, thinking about new stuff, new people that I can talk to, and creating the abundance, creating the life that I want. All right. Next point is your belief. Our beliefs can keep us from being successful, because a lot of it is stories that we tell ourselves or we told ourselves in the past, and it just stuck. I'm not good with this. I'm not good with that. Somebody told us something. It just stuck. I would say 99% of these stories are not true if you actually stop and ask yourself, is it really, really true? And is there 100% data that supports the fact that it's true? Or is there data that supports the fact that it could be different? And if there is, it could be different, you have an opening to change there and to develop a new skill, a skill that you want. All right, let's talk about the next point. change the meaning of getting rich. We might have a belief that someone who has a lot of money has a lot of problems, right? If you're rich, that means you've stepped over people, you're not a nice person, you're evil. Of course, our rich people are evil. And you see them, you know them because they have maybe a lot of power because of their money, and they use it, so it gets noted. There are poor people that are not nice, poor people that step on other people, poor people that steal, that have no morals, have no values. So, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a moral, a high-valued, rich person? I know I do. Okay, so if you do, ask yourself, how does that look like? Commit to being that and believe that it could be done. If you do, if you choose that belief, you grab reinforcement from experiences in the past. I had an experience with a rich family that I got to know very, very close, and was amazed to see that they're just wonderful people. They're just happen to be rich. They became my model to how I want to be. And now I'm less afraid of being really, really rich, because I know that I can still be high valued, loved, and a good person, even with being rich. All right. Next point is, each of us have an inherited money story. Something we picked up when we grew up, maybe heard it many times from our parents, from our teachers, from friends, from the environment, from TV, from movies, whatever. But if it's not serving us right now, if that belief, if our money story is not serving us at this time, we can renounce that inheritance and say we don't want it. We can create our own unique story that is aligned with our goals, that is aligned with the place that we want to be. Maybe you have a money story that you inherited that is not serving you. So stop yourself, stop right there. Identify what is your story, what are you saying to yourself, what's going through your mind, and if it's not serving you, just decide that it's not true. Just decide that it's worth changing, okay? Ask yourself, what will serve you? And say, I'm going to renounce that inheritance. You can renounce that and say, I don't want that. I'm going to create something that is serving me. The next point is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. That means that the same mechanism that controls your decisions or your indecisions with money at your house, at your home, with your family, will penetrate your business, will infiltrate to your business, and you will make the same mistakes and you will have the same outcomes. You have to solve one problem, which is what you believe and how you behave and what your habits are around money, and solving it with your personal finance will help you solve it in the business, and vice versa. All right? It's the same thing, it's the same origin. Okay. Listen to this. I asked her, does everyone needs to get rich? And the conclusion of that was, you deserve to get what you want. It doesn't have to be just about the money. You can get the health that you want, the relationships that you want with your family, with your kids, with your spouse, with your friends. See the places that you want. Experience the experiences that you want. Okay? Give the value that you want. Create the business that you want. You deserve it. The money will follow the purpose that it's needed for. Money helps you do is what's important to be concentrated about. What money helps you achieve, what money helps you to be contributing with. Focus on that, and the money will follow the purpose that it's needed for. Money listens and follows the story you create around it. Let's move on to talk about some practical tools. So, if you feel that you need a change and you're listening to this, I can offer you a few steps. Actually, 3 steps. Try it for 30 days. If it works for you, that's great. If it's not, not. But don't start if you're not willing to invest 1 month for this try. All right. I call it the 3 steps money hack. 1 is get clear on your goals around money, and that's done with visualization. Okay, you can write down your goals. You can write down your goals on a piece of paper. You can write them on your phone. You can write them on your computer. Have them always accessible to you. And then you sit down with your goals. You do it every day. You can do it once in the morning. Like I start the day, I open my computer. First thing, I go over my list of goals. And then visualize. I take 5 minutes of this day and I visualize those goals being achieved and feel the feelings of achieving those goals and trying that and seeing what happens and how it affects our choices, our behaviors, our mood, everything we do, all right? Identifying inherited beliefs that create resistance. If we try to visualize and we can't, there is resistance. Something's blocking us because we have a fear that we're going to be let down. If we visualize that and it doesn't happen, we're going to be let down. Identify those resistance points. For 30 days, every time we encounter a resistance, we have a belief that doesn't support our goals, doesn't support our growth, we switch it to a different state. So let's say if we have a belief that money is hard to make, it's always been hard for me. It took a lot of effort to get to where I am, so it's going to take more effort to get even higher. No, it took a lot to get where I am, but from now on, it's going to be a lot easier to grow. Like the car takes from 100 to 200, it's just slight touches on the gas pedal, right? It's easy, we cruise. So it's going to be a cruise from now on. We can choose to believe that for 30 days. See what happens. The third tool is if we are stuck with thinking about what we don't have, lack mentality, fearing the worst, fearing bad things that are going to happen, we can reduce that by gratefulness. So listing 10 things each day, taking 5 to 10 minutes. It can be before we go to sleep. It can be when we wake up. It can be when we arrive to work. It can be when we go to lunch, before lunch, after lunch. Stick it to something you're already doing to make it easy. And when you list 10 things you're grateful for, it doesn't matter what they are. They don't have to be around money. It can be anything you want. Family, yourself, your health, your environment, small things, big things, doesn't matter. You write 10 things every day and your mind starts to feel good, of course, because you can't be grateful and feel bad. And it signals your mind that you want more of the things you're grateful for. But I can sense that the body feels good when he thinks about those things. I'm going to find opportunities to create more of that to this person, all right? So gratefulness for 30 days. Last tool is write down one word associated with money. Katie asked me, what is the word that I'm associating with money? And I told her today it's the word freedom. But once it was the word pain. Every time I thought of money, I thought of my parents fighting about money. I thought of all the lack that we had when I was growing up. What is your word? What is your one word associated with money? Is it hardship? Is it strain? And how can you replace it with a word that means something good to you, like freedom, like abundance, like friendship, like opportunity, like dreams? All right? Switch that word and remind yourself, wherever that word money comes up, immediately the association is whatever positive word you choose, and that again will help your inner systems to look for opportunities to create that feeling for you. The last tool is the swish technique. First time I've ever heard about that technique. I don't know if it happens to you, but I try to visualize stuff. I can't visualize, and I start to think about the problems that I have in work, the problems I have with this team member, with this team member, with this client, with my family, with my house, whatever problems I have, I think about them, and I can't visualize. So it's a problem. My mind works like that. That is why I did that episode, to help myself. So the swish technique says, start with thinking about what you don't want. That's easy. That's easy. That's great. Imagine a picture of what you don't want. And then, in a small portion of the screen, that the screen of your mind, imagine the opposite. Okay, and now take that picture, that small picture, and just grow it. And swish it over the bad one, over the picture that makes you feel bad. Just do it, and now hold it for as long as you can. Just hold it, feel it for as long as you can. And I found that by doing that, it's easier for me to visualize the good things, because because I've already done the bad. I've already visualized the bad. I thought about it. I didn't give it a lot of times, but I gave it a place. And now I replace it. And this way I'm signaling my mind, I want to replace those realities. I don't want that reality. I do want that reality. This is stronger. This is active. I'm swishing the one on top of the other. I don't know about you guys, but I really love those techniques. I was really deeply impacted by this episode. Again, if you haven't watched it, press right here or right here and go watch the full episode. Watch Katie. She's amazing. She has so much knowledge. She knows all the science behind it, and you will gain a full understanding. Comment down below. If you like this kind of videos, those summaries, comment down below. Let me know. I will make more of them. In the meantime, keep tipping your success. See you in the next video. Hey, if you feel you got value from this video, please share it with one other person so it can help him as well. Appreciate it very much. See you soon.